This is the training video for the third artsy session out of 4. In order for the third session of artsy to run smoothly, make sure that you have all the materials needed for it before the session begins. At this point, all of the necessary forms should have been signed in order for the children to participate.
In this session, you will need booklets made up of several white paper sheets stapled together or simply white paper, crayons, scissors, a couple of staplers, construction paper, pencils, and the pre and post evaluations.
This third session will begin with another introduction. Make sure that everyone gets in a circle and asks a question relating to the children's interests, like, for example, their favorite subject, in addition to their name and grade.
During this introduction, make sure each artsy mentor establishes that they are from a nearby high school and that they are running a program called Artsy, in which they will continue to play games and do art-related activities. Following this introduction, split the children up into groups of 3 to 6 and then pass out and aid in the filling out of pre-evaluations.
The first activity in every session, including the third session, will be visual diaries. Have one artsy member explain this by saying that the mentors would like it if the children do one interesting thing about their day or something on their mind. In order to save time, have the other artsy mentors pass out the materials during the explanation. This is expected to take a total of 15 minutes. Remember, do not rush the activities, just to stay within our suggested timing. Contacts.
Yeah, good for you.
The second activity of this session. The second activity of this session will be a group activity. Have one artsy mentor introduce the game. However, the activity is to be chosen by the children. The artsy mentor should provide the following examples for the children to possibly choose from: Little Sally Walker, Red Light, Green Light, and Duck Duck Goose. If there are many children, separate them into smaller groups. This group activity is suggested to take up 20 minutes. Remember that the goal of this group activity is to get the children to loosen up and have some fun.
The third activity of this session will be the remembering activity. First, split the children up into groups of 4 to 6. There are 2 ways to go about this activity, depending on the circumstances of the disaster. The first is starting by having one artsy mentor explain this by saying that part of Artsy is aiming to help the children feel better, but now Artsy would like them to discuss a part of their day that might be stressful in groups. The second is by starting by having one artsy mentor explain the activity, saying that part of Artsy is aiming to help them feel better and that in groups they will discuss their favorite memories before and after the disaster that recently occurred. In both situations, make sure to assure the children that they do not have to share everything or anything at all. However, say that you would appreciate it if they thought of at least one thing to share. Also, make sure that the artsy mentors start off the discussion with their own answers. The discussion is expected to take around 30 minutes. Remember, do not rush or stretch this activity out.
The third session ends with creating cartoons and fairy tales activity. Have one artsy mentor explain this by saying that in the same groups, the children will think of their favorite cartoon or fairy tale and act it out like a play. Make sure that this artsy mentor tells the children that they will be able to use paper to create crafts or props to help them. And remember that the purpose of this activity is to have some fun. While this artsy mentor explains this activity, have the other mentors pass out the construction paper and pencils. Make sure that the artsy mentors aid the children with the staplers and the scissors if they need to use them.
Before the children leave, briefly introduce and then pass out the post-evaluations. Make sure to aid the children in understanding the survey if need be. Make sure to thank each child for attending and tell them when the Artsy Club will be back for the last session.
This concludes the training video for the third session of Artsy. Remember, it's not important to rush the activities, and above all else, make sure that the children have fun. Artsy mentor knows something concerning. Please reference the red flag protocol immediately marked by the red tab in your manual. Also, if you have more questions about this session or any other session, all the details are located on page 20 of your Artsy manual.